In short, some churches are imitating us.
I had never won positions. I like to serve. I like to be at the bottom most of the time. It's just God who gives me some exposures here.
God has given that authority to man. God has given Constitution of Nigeria also gave that authority to Nigeria, because if the security agencies fail to provide security for you, it is mandatory on your local area and community to provide security for yourselves.
Hello, it's good to have you join us again this beautiful morning for your favorite sports show, Sport Hour, BBC TV in Abuja. We'd like to apologize as well for starting the program very late. I am Olushola Lujide.
I am Olawale Ayeni, and thank you for joining us this morning. So we'll start from the Nigerian Cricket Federation, who has unveiled the Sri Lanka as a national team coach for Nigeria. These and many more we'll bring to you after this short break. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
You're welcome back, and if you are just joining us, this is the Sport Hour Show. In the quest to grow the sport, that's the cricket sport, to meet the global standard, the Nigeria Cricket Federation (NCF) has unveiled a Sri Lankan coach, Asanka Gurushina, as the new head coach and high performance manager for cricket in the country. Gurushina was picked ahead of 32 other top coaches who applied for the Nigerian's top job. Speaking shortly after it was unveiled at the media center of the MK Abiola Stadium in Abuja, that's in Abuja here, Gurushina admitted that the interview session was the most thorough and rigorous since his coaching career. And I quote him, "I'm very excited to take up this job, and I'm really looking forward to the best we can achieve with the level of enthusiasm, talent, and support that the Nigeria Cricket Federation has shown." That's his quote during the unveiling. Gurushina is a World Cup winner in 1996 for Sri Lanka. And what do you expect him to bring on board for the cricket sport in Nigeria generally?
Yes, of course, we know cricket is one of the sports that have been, doing their possible best for them to actually meet international best standard, for them to actually, even grow beyond football, which we know is our biggest sport in Nigeria.
Our traditional sport.
Traditional sport in Nigeria. Having come from a 32-man, interview where he was interviewed alongside 31 others for that particular top job, it shows that he is one of the best in the world. He has won the World Cup, and also, so his lot of experience that it is now is going to actually improve the cricket when it comes to Nigeria, because we know we went to the Under-17 World Cup last year and we did very, very well. So as it is, he will be the one to actually get to build the cricket as a whole in the country. So going forward, I think it's a good one for the Nigerian Cricket Federation. Okay,
let me read out his biography a little bit. He had an 11-year international career with Sri Lanka, and he won the 1996 Cricket World Cup. He was a key member of the national team for his country. They won the 1996 World Cup.
It was about 3 months.
Yes, and he was a former manager of his own country in Sri Lanka as well too. Though he did not win any trophy for his country, but now he's going to bring up his wealth of experience being a World Cup champion. And you know that Sri Lanka, Indian, Pakistan, they are good in the best when it comes to cricket. So probably now he's going to bring that experience, that knowledge, that gift, I'll put that, and the talent that they have from that side of the world, and bring it to a side of the world, talking about Nigeria, that is not used to playing cricket.
Yes.
It's not a popular game like football, like you said, like athletics, like basketball. But we have seen the move by the Federation president to ensure that cricket ranks among the best sports in Nigeria. What do you think of that move by the president? Actually,
it's a very good one. But my own concern is that if the federation will actually, give him all the needed support in terms of finance, in terms of inviting the right players and having him to give him a free hand, not to invite the right players for the national team, is a very, very good one. No doubt about that. I see him doing well in that particular role. Let's just give him some time and see how things pound out. With this, we've moved for them to actually get this coach. It will actually open doors, because the Sri Lankan themselves, we know they are very, very good side when it comes to cricket. So he might be able to actually bring more investors from Sri Lanka to Nigeria, for just due to the fact that he has been the Sri Lankan national coach. So he knows the terrain very well. He knows sponsors who will actually come in to actually partner with the Cricket Federation of Nigeria. So at this point in time, it's a good move by the Cricket Federation.
And I think I like the fact that it's not just going to be head coach. It's going to be the high performance manager. So it's not just talking about just only administration or anything.
Of course.
The technical aspect is going to bring it on. Bring his boys to the speed, to the world standard speed and techniques that we need to develop our game. So we wish the new coach, Azanka Gurushina.
Don't worry, with time we get you know how to pronounce his name better.
So we wish him all the best in his new job.
Okay, so we'll go to the next story, where the second phase of the Olympic Games will begin on Monday in 3 centers in the country in the bid to prepare for the athletes for the competition. According to the acting director of Feed and Elite Athletes, Dr. Samson Ebohleje, the athletes will be camped for 3 weeks in Port Harcourt, Abuja, and Yenagoa. In Port Harcourt, 14 tracks feed athletes under the supervision of the 2 coaches are in camp. In Abuja, 8 para athletes, 14 para table tennis players and 8 weightlifters are in camp, while 6 wrestlers are in camp in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, under the supervision of 2 coaches. The first phase of the campaign was conducted at the Federal College of Education, Panchil, Plateau State, with 4 athletes in attendance. This move by the Sports Ministry to actually start camping for the Nigerian athletes ahead of the Tokyo Olympics. What is your take about it?
Yeah, it's like I said, like we always say, it's fine that the camp has resumed. Though I believe, for the pandemic, the camp also have resumed before now, and but I still don't know how we will play or perform in Tokyo, when you look at the fact that some other countries they started their preparation almost 2 years or 3 years ago.
Now the question is it the athlete that actually qualify for the Olympics? Are they the one they are camping, or is just home-based athletes who are, there are some Olympic qualification that
we have not finished.
They have not finished.
Yes.
So is it the athletes who have already qualified, or the athletes who are looking forward to qualify to the games?
According to the report I got, that these athletes are the ones that have qualified for the Olympic Games.
Okay.
Others we have the others who are foreign-based, so they'll be doing their training in their basis. Yes. Yeah. But for those who are in Nigeria, of course, they have to resume camp. So these ones are the ones that have qualified for the. Now the para athletics are for the Paralympics, Olympic Games, but the main Olympic Games, these ones are already on ground now. But like I was saying, that my issue right now is how prepared are these players, these athletes, for the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games is about, let's say, 4 months from now. They're about 5 months from now, and we have seen other nations, even though the pandemic has stopped most everybody's training regime, but we have seen countries that after the last Olympic, they started their training almost immediately. But Nigeria, we did not. There was no training.
The problem is just that it's not about you.
There was no training until when Olympic was about to start.
3 months.
3 months ago.
I
mean, before it was cancelled or postponed this year. I wonder if we are going for this Olympics, how would have performed?
Of course,
but then we have an alibi now that because of the pandemic.
My problem is, what are these athletes who is actually looking after these athletes? They just said, okay, 2 coaches are there in the camp. What about the nutritionists? What about the doctors? What about those who will actually keep them in shape, the trainers and all that? It's just that at this point in time, we need to actually put all those together if we really want to achieve a very impressive result and performance from these athletes.
Because we have little knowledge about those who are already the physiotherapists, the psychologists, the medical doctors, all these. There's some foods. There's some foods that these players, these athletes cannot take, they cannot eat. There's some drugs.
Even there's some drinks also.
Yes, that you cannot take because you don't know what's inside those drinks, and you don't know whether the companies of those drinks are part of their banned substances, and you keep taking them, you might not know it, but they say ignorance is no excuse in law.
Yes.
So we need all this, apart from coaches putting them through the technical drills, we need people that will be there to monitor their feeding, the way they even sleep, the way they even walk. Basically their complete welfare to ensure that these athletes perform optimally. And probably bring us medals, if not gold, at least a medal.
In your own case, how many medals do you see Nigeria winning at the Tokyo Olympic Games?
That's a tough call. It's very difficult to, because our previous,
like the Athletic Federation, they were actually gunning for 2 good medals.
Why should we be going for? Anyway, they're being realistic, but why should we be going for 2 good medals when our athletes are participating in almost all the races? 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, long, except for even marathon. I don't know whether we are going for marathon, but at least we are going for the 100, 200, 400, 4x1
for the
relay races. So we should be looking towards winning all the good medals there. But no, that's almost.
Then you have the likes of the Jamaicans, the likes of the US, who are very good.
So that's a very tough call for us actually. But then, if you look at our records in the previous Olympic Games, we did not perform very well. The last one, I think, only won a medal, a bronze medal.
Golden bronze.
Golden bronze. We had only 1 medal.
From the football team?
No, this girl, what's her name, that got us a medal in athletics.
Okay, you're talking about the World Championship?
World Championship.
It's a Brume.
Yes, a Brume. That was the only person that got us a medal. And in the last Olympics, it was only the football team that got us, and that is not even, that's a team sport, not even an individual sport. And so our athletes will perform. The AFN, which is basically the biggest federation for Olympics, because they have athletics, they have javelin, they have long jump, short put. So they are the ones that are going to the Olympics with the largest contingent.
Yes.
Football, maximum.
They are not going. Football is
that's true.
Just basketball.
No football. Just imagine no football. So we have already lost a medal automatically.
Yes, of course.
Because Nigeria will have performed well in football.
In recent time, I've not been performing well in recent time when it comes to football. Even our national team, team, have not been performing well.
If football was going, they'll have taken at least they'll have taken 3 experienced.
Other teams also will take 3 experienced players.
At least we have hope of at least.
A certain team that cannot actually win Sierra Leone, you really get to actually win it.
Let's to be patriotic. Let's put that way. We have been doing so well in
or the Olympic Games.
The Olympics game, at least we won gold, we won silver. Even against all odds, we won silver. That's Satellite period.
Yes,
against all odds. So we can still, that would have been an avenue for us to at least win a medal, but it has been completely both the male and the female out. And basketball, it's one thing that we don't know how far we can go.
For me, we should just be choosing ourselves. We have the US. We have the France and all that.
On the African continent, yes, we can go for gold.
Of course.
But at the worst state,
no.
But then, still talking about basketball, we can still make an impact. Look at the fact that we have NBA stars in the Tigers, and they are being coached by an NBA former coach. So I think we might have a shot.
We might have a shot, but I don't. That for me, let's just be truthful to ourselves. We might have a shot, but at least we saw what we played in in the World Cup last year, we didn't actually get to the quarterfinal stage. We're talking about the men's World Cup, but the women, they actually did. They got to the quarterfinal stage. I believe the women will actually do well than the male team, because we know countries such as US, we know those guys are the best.
But we have our Nigerian guys.
Team.
Eight of our players were drafted into the NBA.
That's 8 young players coming up, young players, young players for the future.
For the future,
not for the 2021 Olympic Games.
But they can still go for it. Then we still have our bigger players there as well too.
No doubt about it. With time will tell. Actually, time will tell if we can able to keep this crop of players, get to encourage them, nurture them. They can able to at least get us maybe an Olympic silver, maybe in the next 2 Olympic Games. So as for now, let's just hope that we get to the semi-finals.
So we should maintain our local champion as African champions for now.
Of course, for now.
Okay, so still talking about basketball, the president of the Nigeria Basketball Federation, Engineer Musa Kida, has revealed that the Nigeria Basketball League has been unable to dunk off as a result of a running legal tussle for the last 3 years. Kida, who was speaking in a viral video, said, as a country with huge potentials in basketball, there should be a highly competitive basketball league for men, which will give players, coaches and officials a chance to develop their skills. Having recently acquired a 150 million naira sponsorship deal from Total Nigeria for Division 1 and 2 leagues, Kida said that organizing a robust Premier League would never have been a problem without the legal occurrences. And I quote him, they handcuffed us and slapped us, and we cannot cry. We are legally stopped from having that league. The sad part of this is that the Kwesi League Management Board under Olamide Yedeji and Gobe Bulls took us to the court to stop us from running the league, of which people claim to have the interest of the basketball at heart. So we'll play the video for you to listen to what Engineer Musa said. Let's listen to him.
The Premier League is one of those things that hurts me the most. It hurts me because as president of Nigerian Basketball Federation, I should have a league, I should have a Premier League. I should have a running, very robust Premier League. I don't have that. And the Federation is as disappointed. And it's not out of want of having a running league or not. It's because we're legally handcuffed. I say handcuffed because they handcuff us and they're slapping us and we can't cry. We are actually legally bound and stopped from having that league. The sad part of this is that the Kwesi League Management Board, the Gombe Bulls and the Kwara Falcons that took us to court to stop us from undertaking that league are people who claim to have the interest of basketball at heart. So I'm still trying to reconcile, Callistus, how for the love of the game to be played, right? You have people who have taken us as MBBF to stop us from playing, or to stop clubs from playing, to stop players from earning, to stop coaches from improving themselves, and stop many clubs from continental and global representation.
So now we have heard what he has said. Now he's blaming Olamide Yedeji, a former international for Nigeria, and the NBA star as well too, and Gobe Bulls for being responsible. Now Yedeji has come to say he should stop politicizing this. That we are in court, and this is about 3 years now, for 3 good years now, and Nigerians don't even know that for 3 good years now there has been no basketball league.
That's mainly.
But
at this point in time, we all know that this matter actually started when the leadership crisis actually came in between Umar Tijani and Kida, and also some people are in the opinion that since Umar Tijani has actually get to serve 2 terms at the MBBF president, he should actually step down for Musa Kida, because we know that he has done 2 terms and there's a standing rule, according to what I heard, there's a standing rule when Solomon Dalong was the Minister of Sport. He said that every president who has served 2 terms should actually give way for others to serve. That is why Solomon Ogba in athletics actually stepped down for Guso to to
because
take over.
It will be smart for you just to be in charge of a particular federation
for 12 years.
It's not your father's job.
It's not your father's job. And if you actually checked about it, it's just that we don't have continuity when it comes to our government. We all know that Kwasi actually signed a sponsorship deal to sponsor the men's league.
About 500.
No, it's about $12 million for 5 years. For the Nigerian Men's Premier League, not for any other league, just for the Premier League and all that. And for about for a year, I think it's about $2.2 million for a year just to sponsor the league. And at the end of the day, Musa Kida actually came in to actually sign a $150 million deal with Total for 2 leagues for a period of 5 years.
So which one makes
sense? So at this point in time, of course, it's the $12 million actually makes sense.
Make more sense.
Make more sense because they actually have with Kwasi, and again the league will actually be televised
on Kwesi Station. Yes. On
Kwesi Station. So at this point in time, it just shows that there is no continuation in the MPF, because at this point in time, when you have already signed a deal with Kwesi, why now going to sign another league with Total? So it just shows that when the question was actually signing the league, they didn't actually sign the league with the name of Tijani Umar. They actually signed the name with Nigerian Basketball Federation. So I don't see why Musa Kida will actually go forward to actually sign a new league. I think this matter should have been resolved internally with this Ministry of Sport and with the 2 fractions for them to actually move the game forward. It's just so sad. So many basketballers who are supposed to benefit from the men's league, they're out of job. Coaches, referees, even sport journalists who are expected to actually cover those leagues, they have been put out of job because of the court case that is actually going on in that particular federation.
And it's quite unfair because this is going to affect the development of the growth of basketball in Nigeria. Yeah, the women's league, the women's one, that's a different ballgame entirely. But the men who are supposed to be the trailblazer, so to say, they are not doing the job well. They are not just
at this point in time, the tenure of the Musa Kida led and the
should have expired,
but at least it will expire next day after the Olympics. So we should still expect more fireworks from that particular federation, because who will be actually organizing the election when the time comes?
Because if the Olympics are taking place as at when due, even for the pandemic, all the federation presidents would have gone out, because their tenure was supposed to end after the Olympics. But now they have extended a little bit just to finish up for the Olympics, and after the Olympics everybody get out, let's do fresh elections. Now the FIBA has come out to say they're going to organize a fresh, they are thinking of organizing fresh elections for MBBFF, so that we can have at least this is going to be our president. And I think that should solve. That should put the
leadership crisis to bed in the
finally,
in the MBBF.
Finally.
Of course. So we go to our next story with the Flying Eagles of Nigeria on the blink to exit from the 2020 WAFU B Under-20 Cup of Nations after they lost 1-0 to Ghana in Group B clash at the Stadia Charles the Glorious Porto Novo, Benin Republic on Wednesday. Ladamboso side needed an outright win to advance into the semi-finals, but a brilliant free kick from Precious Boa in the 82 minutes sealed a nerve win for the Black Starlets in the West African derby. They had earlier been held to a 1-1 draw by Ivory Coast in their opening game on Sunday. The Flying Eagles dominated play in the opening minutes of the game and had 2 goals disallowed for offside as they went in search of goal. Boso team played with a lot more urgency after the interval, but their attack was blunt, with only former Eagle star Wizumbani the bright spot at a point. This is a very disappointing game for the Flying Eagles. I saw one particular goal that I actually scored. For me, that goal was a clean goal. it was not an offside. It was a bad call.
It was expected that the moment they grouped Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire together in one group, they wanted the big boys out.
Of course.
Apparently. Why would they be putting Benin Republic with some minors in football? But they are not putting all the giants, at least the strongest team in one group. So, and they know that Nigeria is a threat. So the earlier they take out Nigeria, the better. Now when the result came out, we took our calculator as usual.
They started calculating, started punching, hoping that
let's Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana.
Ghana must win Cote d'Ivoire with at least a 2-goal for us to qualify. And at this point in time, I don't see that happening due to the fact that the Ghanaians know they have already qualified.
Yes.
Then the Cote d'Ivoireans know that if they can be able to secure a draw, they'll qualify. So at this point in time, it's going to be a much work for Ivory Coast than the Ghanaians. The Ghanaians can just relax and say, we have qualified already. Let's just allow the Cote d'Ivoire to actually get to win. It's just so sad that we appointed Ladambusu just about 2 months thereabout to the competition, and we expect him to actually perform magic where we know players who are not in camp before. They just came, selected few players and all that.
We saw reported by agents were coming to the camp.
They were lobbying and all that.
Lobbying, you bring this player, this guy's from presidency, this guy's from National Assembly, this guy is from one politician.
And this is actually telling on our age group football, because as it is now, allegedly you have to pay some certain money. Allegedly you have to pay some certain money before a player can be allowed to play in the age group, and influence from maybe the government, from agents and all that. At this point in time, we don't need that. We don't need that in our age group team, because
League, Premier League season kicked off yesterday with the opening game between Nasarawa Amazons and the FC Robo of Lagos at the Lafia Township Stadium in Nasarawa State. The game ended 1-0 in favor of FC Robo. The new season started with a total of 8 fixtures spread across the country. It's a straight league format that will see the robust action for 26 weeks with a total of 182 matches. The virtual champion and runner-ups will qualify to represent Nigeria in the inaugural CAF Women's Champions League. The fixture in Lafia between Amazon and Nerobo was a replay of 2018 edition that ended goalless. Then let's look at the other results from the other matches. Saw Conference Queens being held to a 1-1 draw by Rivers Angels, while Abia Angels defeated Pelican Stars by a 2-0 scoreline. Ibom Angels lost at home to Visitor Osun Babes by a lone goal, while Delta Queens defeated Dreamstar football is just growing gradually.
Of course.
And as time goes on, we will see more female football clubs. Now the Women League has started, but the main league, the main Nigerian Football League, talking about the men, has refused to start. The leagues also started last
15th of November.
Okay, from 15th of November
shifted to 6th of December.
Now the spokesperson for LMC, that's the League Management Company, now said what was released was not official. How can you come and say what the fixtures released and the date you gave out was not official, that we should wait for the official date?
They say what a man can
are they trying to play on the intelligence of Nigerians?
They say what a man can do, a woman can actually do it better. We've
Yes.
seen that playing out where
Aisha Falode
has led the pace for the LMC to actually follow. When you even look at the start of the pictures that they were actually shown on the screen, you see they have packaged the league
Yes.
well.
And they even partner with United Nations.
United Nations. So you see, it shows that they are actually doing very well. They have started the league. The league have started more packaging, which will actually attract sponsors
yes.
to actually run and follow at the league. My own worry is just that the Aisha Faraday-led team should actually bring in more media guys to the team for them to actually publicize the league and to promote the league. Well, coming to the LMC, it's just so sad at this point in time. There are so many things actually playing on underneath the ground. There are so many things at this point in time. Allegedly, report has it that referees have not been paid for past 2 seasons. How can you start a league where you have not paid the referees who actually officiate matches for last 2 seasons?
No, it's just
in the NPFL.
It's just sad that all these things happen. That the welfare of players, the welfare of the coaches, the welfare of even the referees are not being taken. It still boils down to one thing that we have been saying all along: the fact that the government is in charge of sports is the problem. I should say that if it was private individuals who are running these clubs, who are running this football, who are running, you would not want the money to go down the drain. You will need to take care of the people you need to take care of. And so
at this point in time,
they will give you the results.
At this point in time, all the clubs have shown that they are ready to start the league. It's not the club that is the problem at this point in time. The problem is coming from the LMC. And I feel that even the president, Amaju Pinnick, is not really concerned about the NPFL. What he's just concerned about is the Super Eagles. He's not even showing any concern with the 8th grade team and with the league. Looking what he has done for the past how many years that he has been the president of Nigeria Football Federation. He's not showing a huge commitment when it comes to the NPFL players. He would just say it's just so sad that the NPFL they cannot resume. At this point in time, how many sponsors do we have for the Super Eagles? How many sponsors do we have for the Nigerian Professional Football League?
Is a cash cow.
We know that is a cash cow. For me,
that's the problem.
I feel at this point in time, if you are entering any deal for any sponsorship for the national team, why not include the NPFL? Let's say for example, let's say if Coca-Cola wants to actually sponsor the Super Eagles, let's just say 20% of those particular revenue that the Coca-Cola will be bringing to the Super Eagles should go to the LMC. Should go to the LMC. In that way, we see more sponsors, coming to sponsor the NPFL, and the NPFL will be shown. And
the fact that our league has not resumed affected us on the consensus stage.
Of course.
Because with it can be training. Training cannot be compared to
playing
actual
a competitive game.
Yes.
Of course, we saw what play out Kano Pillars. They couldn't actually score in their home.
Plateau United were defeated in their own stadium just here. Only Ayimba
and Rivers United actually managed to play penalties for them to actually
only Ayimba still survived to on away goals. Away goals helped Ayimba to qualify for the next round.
It's just so sad that those who are handling the Nigerian football at this particular time are not really putting the efforts that so many Nigeria expected from them. You are just concentrating on just 6 matches for the Super Eagles, while league that is talking about the NPFL, they have about 380 matches.
Don't be surprised when the league resumes, we will be doing an abridged.
Of course, because there will be no time at the end of the day. Around June, August, CAF will expect you to actually present your country representative for the CAF Champions League. So we'll go to the next story. Still talking about football and still talking about CAF. CAF on the African stage, the Convention on African Football has fined Perek Emerick Aubameyang $10,000 for publishing an offensive and downgrading materials that dents the image of the African football ruling body. The punishment was meted out on the Arsenal staff for slamming CAF after being made to feel like a hostage, having been forced to sleep in an airport alongside his teammate ahead of the Group D African Cup of Nations qualifiers versus Gambia. Mr. Perek Aubameyang was publicly published offensive and degrading materials and undermining the honor and the image of the Confederation of CAF football in a statement from CAF. It read, in terms of the CAF statutes and regulation, in terms of Article 10, the 11 subsection disciplinary code, the CAF discipline honorary board decided to impose a fine of $10,000 for breaching of the values of sportsmanship. Do you think it's a right call from CAF?
Aubameyang came out to talk about the fact that they were. You saw the pictures.
Yes,
they were sleeping on the floor.
On the
in
floor
in the airport.
Yes.
You know, when it comes to African football, the host we want to use
one means
to
actually bring down the morale of the visiting team.
Yes.
We saw that played even with Rivers United, even with Plateau.
Yes. So whereby they were delayed at the airport for. Imagine your match is by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening. You are still in the airport at 12 p.m.
You can imagine.
That means you have to drive down to your hotel.
We saw that played out in Plateau United, where two players in that particular team were held due to the fact that they were tested, they were positive to coronavirus. And meanwhile, when they came back to Nigeria and they went to do a test, they were negative. So that you just.
And before they even went to they tested all of them. They were all negative.
Negative, of course.
But they did not go to they got
the airport.
The airport said that
they had to do another test.
They are positive. It now held the 2 key players down. They said they're positive, but after the match, they released them. Yeah, let's do testing. They tested again. They were negative. Under 12 hours, they were negative. Okay, now let's now go to UEFA Champions League. You know, during the week, some key matches were played, and some people were expecting Real Madrid, for example, now to go to, like my friend here, my brother here. He wanted Real Madrid to go and play the Europa League, but as the God of soccer will have it, Madrid. You know, at the last, you know, when it comes to when it matters most, they showed up, and they even topped the group. Shakhtar Donetsk, that defeated them home and away, were, of course, sent to Europa League. One interesting part was that Borussia Mönchengladbach, they were watching the game between Shakhtar Donetsk and Inter Milan to see whether they're going to stay in a Champions League or they'll go to Europa. They remember they saw the end of the game. They jubilated as if that was the final.
Of course, because I expected a certain Inter Milan to actually win that particular one. If had it been Inter Milan to that,
Lukaku messed up there. Almost at the 88 minutes. This guy was about to score. Sanchez headed the ball, and the ball, instead of Lukaku to bring his head down, the ball hit his head. The ball that was going straight into the net, so he stopped a goal that was bound to enter the net. And then we also saw the game between Juventus and Barcelona, where we saw 2 goals. 2 goals in that particular one.
And one scored twice.
He scored twice. Then the second
the other goal fired blank.
He fired blank, you know, and he played so many shots on target. Evergreen Buffon was, in fact, even collected. Messi does not collect people's jersey. People collect Messi's jersey, but Messi went to Buffon and collected Buffon's jersey.
A certain 42-year-old man still managed the stick for Juventus.
Messi had close to 10 shots, and Buffon was on point to get out all those. So we saw that even the Juventus and Barcelona had already qualified for, but that game was a game of
looking for who would actually top the group into the next round.
So the teams that top the group, we have Bayern, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund, Juventus and Paris are the seeded teams, while the unseeded teams are Atletico Madrid, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Porto, Atalanta, Sevilla, Lazio, Barcelona, and Leipzig. Now, today, we are going to be seeing some round of football in the Europa League.
Yes, of course.
Where we are going to see Arsenal coming on board to play today. And
Don't Talk, though we're playing Don't Talk. We know Arsenal have already qualified in a particular group. Then Rapid will play Mondale, Bayer Leverkusen against Sevilla. Most of the the key match for me today will be Napoli against Real Sociedad, but a certain Victor Osimhen is not, he's not sure. He's doubtful in that particular one. While Ofian will play Ghent and which other games, tight games that we have for today again? Sparta against AC Milan. That's another interesting. Then Celtic against leaders. Some futures in the Europa League for later today. So we'll go to the next one where matches. In the weekends, fixtures matches in the English Premiership and also in other matches that will be happening this weekend, where Wolverhampton will play Aston Villa in the English Premiership, Newcastle against West Brom, Manchester United, the big one, against Manchester City. GD, what is your take on for that particular match?
Of course, Manchester defeat Manchester City is a derby, but then the sky will be blue, not red. The
sky will be blue, not red. Everton against Chelsea is another going to be a cracker, because we know Everton has been impressed this season. Their front line have been doing well. Chelsea also, they are not letting their guard down. They have been playing well in the league as well. Then in Spain, we are going to have Valencia, Athletic Madrid, Getafe, Sevilla, Euskal Alaves, and another Madrid derby between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. So this is where we draw the curtain for today, and we believe you have enjoyed every bit of today's show. As we have always said on this show, please take charge of your health. You can help stop the virus by obeying the guidelines as set up by the authorities. Keep your social distancing, wash your hands regularly, or use an alcohol-based sanitizer, and always use a face mask. I remain Olushola Olujide. I am Olawale Ayeni. Till we come your way, same time, same station next week. Bye-bye. God bless.
The word of God is God's instrument for deliverance. Bible said in Psalm chapter 107 verse 20 that he sent forth his word and he led them from every destruction. All men that were of great generational impact were men who encountered God via the word. In this age of shallow Christianity, where many are no longer committed to discipleship,